On Delta TV News tonight, President Tinubu reaffirms his administration's commitment towards improving living conditions of citizens. Federal government inaugurates an inter-ministerial committee to plan and execute forthcoming Democracy Day celebration. State government grants 1 month period of grace to commercial motorcyclists and tricyclists to acquire aprons, stickers, and riders' cards approved by government. And abroad, World Bank lifts ban on loans to Uganda. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Delta TV News tonight. I am a Blessing Usiagbada. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to acting in the best interest of Nigerians, assuring citizens that the impact of economic reforms will soon translate into improved living conditions. In a statement marking this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration, President Tinubu said the federal government was focused on ensuring that the difficult but necessary decisions taken in recent months resulted in lasting benefits for all Nigerians. He acknowledged that the country had endured a challenging period marked by tough economic adjustments, but expressed optimism that the most difficult phase of the reforms was over, even as positive signs were beginning to emerge across key economic sectors. President Tinubu encouraged Nigerians, therefore, not to lose hope, but to continue supporting the administration's policies. Addressing the significance of Eid al-Kabir, President Tinubu urged Muslims to emulate the example of Prophet Ibrahim while upholding the values taught by Prophet Muhammad. He appealed for unity and compassion among citizens, stressing that the celebration should be a time to care for others, regardless of faith or background. The President used the occasion to commiserate with the victims of recent flooding in Mokwa, Niger State, which claimed lives and displaced many, calling for collective support to bring relief to the affected community. He solicited prayers for the country's armed forces and security personnel, commending their sacrifices and dedication to national peace and stability. Governor Sheriff Oborewore has extended felicitations to Muslims in the state and across the country as they celebrate the Eid al-Kabir. He urged the Islamic faithful to emulate the virtues of Prophet Muhammad by embracing the spirit of sacrifice which the Holy Prophet exemplified. In a message through his Chief Press Secretary, Sir Festus Ahon in Asaba, the governor called on Nigerians to continue promoting peaceful coexistence and showing love and compassion to one another, regardless of religious or ethnic differences, while praying for the peace, unity and progress of the nation. He assured Muslims of a peaceful celebration in the state, saying the government was working closely with security agencies to ensure the safety of all. The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to continued partnership with the Muslim community in the state towards advancing the state's development. As Muslims around the globe today celebrate the festival of sacrifice, popularly known as Eid al-Kabir, religious devout in the state have been encouraged to imitate the faith of God's prophets in the Holy Book by showing willing obedience, patience, love, and hope in God Almighty.
The Chief Imam of the Federal College of Education Technical Central Mosque, Asaba, Dr. Adekunle Yunusa, among other clerics, shared the insight on the significance of the festival, as well as the lessons of living a legacy of obedience, patience, and trust in God Almighty.
It's called Eid al-Kabir, or the Festival of Sacrifice, and we are just using it to show thanksgiving to God for having guided us to the faith of Abraham, Isaac, and even Prophet Ishmael.
Today, that every one of us will renew our faith in Almighty Allah.
All of us in the world today must really be sincere to ourselves, and we must work assiduously and very hard to put a legacy down for ourselves. We are remembering Prophet Abraham today because of what he did. What are you going to be remembered for? So that is the key thing.
Other Muslim faithfuls expressed gratitude to God to have witnessed this year's Eid al-Kabir, while emphasizing the need to show love, and live peaceably with one another.
We're
all Nigerians, and we've enjoyed peaceful coexistence here in Asaba and across.
The highlight of the celebration was the slaughtering of the Salah ram, symbolizing the willing obedience of God's servants through faith in his ability to do all things, as demonstrated in the biblical story of Abraham.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory has urged all Nigerians in positions of authority, particularly the political leadership, to make sacrifices to secure Nigeria, just as Muslims offer sacrifices in obedience to God during Salah. The chairman of the association, Reverend John Hayab, gave the advice in a message to Muslim faithful in the country as they join other parts of the world to celebrate Eid el-Kabir. Reverend Hayab charged the political elite to act in consonance with their constitutional obligations and moral responsibility in the interest of every Nigerian. He said the time had come for the federal government to take steps aimed at restoring public confidence and healing its national wounds. The CAN chairman wished the Muslims a joyful and spiritually rewarding Eid el-Kabir. Delta State Executive Council has approved multi-billion naira road construction and rehabilitation projects aimed at improving infrastructure and boosting economic activities across the state, as well as the release of 6.7 billion naira as the state's counterpart funding to access the Universal Basic Education Commission UBEC grant for educational development. The approvals were announced at the end of the state ESCO meeting presided over by Governor Sheriff Oborowori at Government House in Asaba. Ejime Udweme reports.
In a post-ESCO briefing, the Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniago, said the road projects cut across the 3 senatorial districts and included both new constructions and major rehabilitations with a focus on economic viability, accessibility, and long-term durability. He stated that the 6.7 billion naira Universal Basic Education counterpart funding will enable the state to draw matching grants for the construction, renovation, and equipping of public schools. He listed projects approved to include reconstruction of failed sections of the Uzere Asabase Road, Abo Akarai Concrete Road with a 100 meters bridge, across the Okiri River in Indokwa East, Eku Osubi Road, Oknam Ugbolu Road. According to him, projects that were reviewed upwards were the Ejema Nyogo, Obi Dugbo, Ekukwagbo Road Phase 1, Ajoebon and Uwa Ezueka Streets in Bojiboji Owa, Amai Araba Road with 40% mobilization, and Ideze Internal Roads Phase 1 and 2. Mr. Niago said ESCO approved the Ovrode Arade Road Phase 1, Amaka Ogodogo Ivu Access Road in Okpoloinwe, Atomiga Internal Roads, the construction of Aro Road by Heroes of Faith Uge, and the repudiation and reaward of Emohwe Street Ekubo to connect Oteri and Ivremaro Town Phase 1. Also approved